keep you connected and protected. You'd make it available in diesel and gas, and there would be thousands of configurations and upfits to choose from. You build it right here in the USA, because your one-of-a-kind business deserves nothing less than a van that's built for you. Introducing the all-new Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, the safest, most innovative Sprinter yet, starting at just $33,790. Built for you, the all-new Sprinter, built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz, vans, born to run.
MSRP excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details about costs and terms. Equipment described as optional. 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter available soon.
Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has undergone successful cancer surgery. A spokeswoman says the 85-year-old justice is resting comfortably after the surgery at Memorial Sloan Cancer Center in New York City. Doctors discovered the nodule during tests in November after she suffered rib fractures in a fall. The statement says the surgery was planned and there's no evidence of any remaining nodules, and that scans didn't detect any malignancies anywhere else in her body. Dr. Seuss's wife has died in La Jolla, California at age 97. Audrey Geisel helped oversee the literary estate of her husband, who died back in 1991. She'd been busy with publishing and continuing her husband's charitable giving, including giving millions to libraries. She was also an executive producer on The Lorax and the current movie, The Grinch. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go, and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
He's the personification of reality TV. Andy Cohen has a lot of titles: TV executive, talk show host, and New York Times bestselling author. But now he adds one more, giving this news on his live talk show.
I want you to be the first to know that after many years of careful deliberation, a fair amount of prayers, and the benefit of science, if all goes according to plan, in about 6 weeks' time, I am going to become a father.
The 50-year-old says family means everything to him.
Having one of my own is something that I have wanted in my heart for my entire life. And though it's taken me longer than most to get there, I cannot wait.
President Trump's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame has been vandalized again.
Check one, check, test one, two. Okay.
A man wearing a long black coat who used a black marker to scribble swastikas and vulgarities across the star. Then, after the star was cleaned, the second incident happened a few hours later when a group of animal sympathizers dressed as sheep spilled red paint across the star while holding signs that said "Sheep suffer for wool." The president's star had been vandalized twice in the past, both times by men using pickaxes. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-607-8945. That's 1-800-607-8945. Again, 1-800-607-8945.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
And a good Saturday morning. We are back. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. It is that time of the year. Garden America, we are live on the air right now. Biz Talk Radio streaming, also Facebook Live. Want to welcome you. Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, 855-424-9825. Questions, comments. You can also, can we email you, John? Is your computer up and working?
No.
Okay. Really? Yeah. That's a shame.
Really?
Okay, so I guess John at gardenamerica.com we're going to put on hold for right now.
You might want to give the phone number again so they can write it down
Yeah,
since you can't use an email.
855-424-9825. But most people on Facebook Live just post their questions and comments right there, which we continue to do.
Right.
Special in-studio
Remember
guest.
that the last four numbers of the phone number spell yuck.
Do they really?
Y-U-C-K, yeah.
Oh, 9825 is yuck?
Yeah.
So we got to 855-424-yuck.
There you go.
Okay, as in yucca or a whole different thing?
No, as in really happy, funny, yuck
okay.
it up.
Oh, yuck it up. Okay.
There you go.
So that is John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, Bryan, Maine. In-studio guest, we'll get to her in just a very few moments.
Can't believe that number wasn't taken.
I'm John. Thank you for the Christmas gifts you brought in.
Oh, you're welcome.
I took mine to the car already.
You did.
Yeah, but
You've been wanting a hibiscus.
Wow. And I asked you what it's going to look like, and you
I don't mean this in a negative way.
You do, but it's okay.
No, because you are a plant lover. But you probably are the one person I know who love plants more than anyone else, but will not buy their own.
Well,
you wait for people to give them to you?
I work in the industry.
There you go.
And I have bought a few, but I've got you. You're my plant whisperer. So I asked John to describe the hibiscus, what it's going to look like as far as colors. And John, you lost me after the first 5 seconds. It's going to be a little bit of everything, right?
Well, it's got ruffled edges, and it's large to begin with. It's a tropical hibiscus, by the way, Hibiscus rosa sinensis.
Beautiful.
And it's probably about 8 to 10 inches across. So almost a foot across. And it's one of the new hybrids, so it will bloom in shady conditions.
Yeah, and you know me, I've got a lot of shade in the patio.
Right. And hibiscus, that's the nice thing about the new hibiscus. The old hibiscus would only bloom in full sun. So the new ones will take quite a bit of shade also, besides growing in full sun.
So it's low maintenance as far as that goes.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then it's got the ruffled edges. It's white and shades of rose and pink with a little bit of red in a darker center. And sometimes it's a single flower, sometimes it's a double.
It is a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it just depends.
All in the same plant?
Yeah, it depends on its mood.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like the mood rings, which you don't remember back in the 70s. You know, these mood rings that would change different colors depending upon your mood, so to speak. Yeah. And what did you bring Tiger?
Of course, I got Tiger a Dorianthus palmeri.
And who wouldn't, right? Duh.
I thought it was something that he could put in his landscape at home, and it's really different. I personally don't know a lot about the plant. I've been trying to get them for a few years, and finally got some small one that I was able to grow on. And I think it's also called red spear.
Yeah, red spears. I looked it up.
Yeah, he did research already.
And it's called red spear because it puts out like a 6-foot long flower spike.
Yeah, well, you know what it looks like is a yucca, from the flower spike and everything, but it's got very soft foliage. It's not going to stab me or anything like that. But then the red kind of blossoms are really magnificent on it compared to the white, creamy yucca ones. Now, do you think the rabbits will eat it?
I don't think so.
Okay, sweet.
I don't think so.
Do you have a place in mind to put it already?
Yeah. Come on. Anytime I see a plant, I'm like, ooh.
That's the rabbit question.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you have rabbits. You have, what else do you have? Possums?
I have rabbits and rats. Because on my orange tree, I get rats.
Yeah. Tree rats, right?
Yeah, tree rats. Yeah.
Tree rats.
Do you have any animals that don't begin with R?
I have a tortoise in my house.
Oh,
Well, that's good. And you got the armadillo that drops by now and then. I think it's kind of weird.
That'd be awesome.
Speaking of rabbits, I am investigating a rabbit fence.
This is your new house that you're going to be building.
Right. And I think I need a gopher barrier combined with a rabbit fence because I'm about 80% convinced that I'm going to put in a coffee plantation.
Now,
About 1,000 coffee
well, this
trees,
is the time
maybe.
to do all the planning because nothing's built yet. This is great.
Right. The only thing is, if I do it, I have to plant the trees in April, so got to be ready. You and Tiger will probably be able to come up and help me
you
plant
plant
the trees.
1,000 trees.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't mind on a Saturday, maybe coming up and doing something.
What about Friday afternoon?
No, not a good day.
Okay.
Not a good day. But
Do it Saturday after the show then.
Saturday sometime, yeah, after we get rolling, sure. See this.
And Dana can come over and she can make us lemonade or something while we're working.
Make you a tuna sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 12 minutes after the hour. Once again, 855-424-9825 or yuck, as John says, 9825. Facebook Live, questions, comments. Not ready for the John at GardenAmerica.com yet, but we do have the quote of the week, John, but we have to get out of the way here.
Yeah, and the quote is that it makes sense if you think about it, except this quote was written over 100 years ago.
I liked it.
And it was from George MacDonald. And he said, we're often able to tell people what they need to know because they want to know something else and would therefore only misunderstand what we said.
That is so true. That is so true.
I think it's going to go a lot with talking with Hilary today. When people be like, I want to keep bees. And she's going to be like, well, that probably won't be a good idea. No, I want to keep them.
Well, this would be a good idea. People watching obviously see her in the studio, Hilary. So a little tease on what we're going to be talking about today and why we have an in-studio guest.
Yeah.
Who is actually making the studio look a lot prettier than when we're here.
Oh, definitely.
So thank you, Hilary. We appreciate that.
And I'm already impressed because when she came in, I met her for the first time. And in my mind, I had pictured that her face would be covered with dots of calamine lotion.
Right.
From all the bee stings,
Exactly. So we're going to get into that beekeeping, what it takes, how she got into it, and just a lot of little nuances, I would imagine. Right, Tiger?
Yeah, definitely. So
You know what I was thinking we'd do the second hour?
What?
You don't know why.
No,
Because I didn't tell you.
We got to be careful. He just thought of this, and sometimes John's filter's a little off.
Yeah, but what I was thinking is since Christmas is coming up and we are live, that besides gardening, maybe listeners can either go on Facebook and let us know what one of their holiday traditions was. Something either you do now or maybe something you did as a kid that you always looked forward to.
Yeah, let us know. Put that on Facebook if you're
I think
watching
that would
us.
be kind of fun.
That's a good idea. Or you can even call in if you want to.
Sure.
What's that number, John? 855-424-YUCK.
There you go.
9825.
I'll never forget it now.
No, exactly. Tiger, you say things are hopping at the nursery, Mission Hills Nursery, for those listening to us on AM 1240 here in San Diego.
Speaking of rabbits.
Yeah, we've had an exceptional winter for gardening, with rain, warm, and makes things a great time of year to plant, a great time of year for things to look good. I mean, I've got a Hong Kong orchid tree in my front yard, and I have a aristocrat pear. Neither of them have lost any foliage yet.
You're just waiting.
Well, I mean, it's just they're happy. Everything's happy, I feel, right now in the landscape.
That's like my aquariums at home, my fish tanks. Everybody's alive and thriving and doing well, and nobody's died in the last probably 6 months. But I know what you mean when everything's just working right.
Yeah.
And you just stand back and okay, don't touch anything.
Yeah, right.
Don't mess with it.
Oh, yeah, I don't even look at it.
Don't even, exactly. Keep on walking. Don't even look.
Well,
that's good.
Such a good time of the year to work in the garden because it's not hot.
Right.
So you're not sweating.
Yeah.
And the ground, as Tiger says, is moist, so the weeds come out really easily.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you want to plant something or move something, it's really easy to do. Because I'm moving, I told you last week we sold our house, so we've got about 30 days to get out. Wow. And I'm digging up roses, but they come up so easily. And because it's almost like bare rooting them. I know that everyone is going to take, and it's going to be fine. I don't have to worry about it stressing out or dying. Kind of makes me happy.
Hey, we're supposed to get rain in a few days?
No. On Christmas.
Okay, beautiful.
Really?
Love it.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what John is saying about keeping the ground nice and moist and being able to move things and transplant and making it easier to garden. So that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
We it's so funny. People listening to us across the country, you guys are always talking about rain. It's a big deal here in San Diego.
Huge deal. We only get 10 inches a year on average.
If-
Not an average.
If we're lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is. It's front page news.
Yeah.
It's Stormwatch 2018.
Other parts of the country get 10 inches in an afternoon.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, 16 minutes after the hour, we've got a break coming up, and when we come back, we'll be getting into bees, talking about probably everything that does relate to bees with our guest.
Yeah, we're going to have Hilary Kearney with Girl Next Door Beekeeping. She got into beekeeping 8 years ago, and from then, it's been a passion for her ever since. And she leads classes and maintains beehives and also has some bee products that she sells online.
Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to take a break, pay a few bills, and give you some award-winning commercials. Come back with Hilary. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Target Palafox. Thank you for tuning in to Facebook Live. Again, 855-424-9825. We'll put on hold, I should say, John at GardenAmerica.com. We're going to step aside. Coming right back.
Want a better looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info.
This is Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. With the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite Organic Nitrogen Fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 3 months. The organic nitrogen is slow release and won't burn plants even during hot, dry weather. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite, for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to $500,000 cash infusion. Call a NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble. Help! I could barely move. Help! I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-414-1958 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-414-1958. 1-800-414-1958. Call for your free Life Alert brochure today at 1-800-414-1958.
As a small business owner, there's one word that you absolutely dread: payroll. For small businesses, it's a big burden. You may think you're saving time and money doing it yourself. But come on, are you? Timesheets, processing checks, calculating taxes, a total waste of your time. Paychex simplifies payroll processing, saving you time and money. Submit your payroll online, fax it in, or call your dedicated Paychex payroll specialist. And you're done. Learn more at trypaychex.com. Come on, do the math. The IRS dishes out 8 million penalties a year. Make one mistake, and you're on the hook. On average, you're losing nearly 1 business day every month doing payroll. That's time and money you'll never get back, unless you get Paychex. More than 500,000 small businesses already do. Call 877-649-5324. Trade payroll pressure for peace of mind. Call now. 877-649-5324. That's 877-649-5324.
Is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Well, as we mentioned today, at least for the time being, John at gardenamerica.com will not work for your questions. But we've got more and more people joining us on Facebook. That is the best way to do it. Questions, comments on Facebook Live, 855-424-9825. Streaming live, of course, on Biz Talk Radio. We are back. I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. And sitting to the right of Tiger is our special in-studio guest today. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure we're going to get some involvement with this as we talk about the bees and beekeeping in particular. And it's not something that you planned to do. You kind of fell into it. So, Tiger, let's see what's going on with Hilary.
Yeah, so we have Hilary Kearney with Girl Next Door Beekeeping. And Hilary, there's no one better to tell us about your story than you. So tell us a little bit about you getting into beekeeping and what you do.
Yeah, so I've been beekeeping for almost 9 years, and I started out really as an art student at UC Santa Cruz, and I just kind of fell into it because my now husband, when I met him 10 years ago, had a bucket list, and on that list was all this crazy stuff, like ride my bike across the country, be a firefighter, beekeeping. I was like, what? Beekeeping? Yeah, so I just kind of was like, all right, I gotta check this out. So I got him a book, and that was really interesting. I read it just to make sure it was good, and then I got sucked in. So I just got.
So because you bought him a book and you read it first, this got you involved. Yeah. And so what was his reaction? Like, hey, wait a minute, that's my bucket list. What are you doing?
I think once, I kind of dragged him into it. He's been doing it with me, but the things that we ended up doing, especially in the beginning, like the things that we said yes to, were pretty nuts. Like there's some crazy stories with him involved. He got to be involved early days. Now he has a job, but for a while he was a long time he was a student, so right. He had more flexibility, so he's helping me a lot.
That's cool. And so tell us a little bit about the first time you also started getting people asking you about beekeeping, and you hosted some classes, and then it led into Girl Next Door, right?
Yeah, so around, when I had been doing it for like 2 years, and I was working an office job that I wasn't too fond of. And I was joining all these clubs and trying to get involved in other things as kind of like an avenue to get out of this office job. So I was in this garden group, a meetup group, and they found out that I was a beekeeper, and somebody from the group approached me and said, hey, can you teach like a beekeeping class to the gardening group? And I said, sure. And so I taught a class in my dad's living room, and there was like 12 people RSVP'd, big waiting list of people who wanted to come, and only like 4 people showed up.
So did you have a lot of refreshments and food for 12 people, and then 4 people show up?
No, I just spent a lot of time working on the class, and then, only 4 people were there to listen to me do this lecture, which ended up being like a 3-hour class.
And you had never lectured before, so this was the first time in front of people talking about your passion of beekeeping.
Yeah, and when I finished, one of the people who was there was like, are you a teacher? Because you're really good at this. You're really organized. Are you like a school teacher? And I was like, no.
Just talking about bees.
I just like bees.
Yeah, apparently I just like bees. But, that kind of, he was like, you're really good at this. And they were like, you got to do this again for the people who didn't come. And I was like, okay. So I did it again. And the same thing happened, a big waiting list, all these people RSVP'd, only like 3 or 4 people showed up. So then I went, all right, if I'm doing this again, we're going to charge, because that's the only thing that'll get people here.
Right. Let's get serious about this.
Yeah. So that was kind of the beginning of the business, really. I didn't know it, but I was charging just to get people to show up.
Right.
And then it worked. So I kept charging people to do the class. They kept asking for it. Everyone was like, when are you doing the next one? I didn't get to come. So I ended up doing that class just about every month. And I'm still doing it. So I never really stopped doing it. I do it every month. And since that time until now, I do this intro to beekeeping class, and it hasn't really changed that much. So
now, do these people come there to learn how to become beekeepers, or what was the curiosity level of why they showed up?
I don't know. I mean, when I asked people in the beginning, why are you here?
Yeah.
And I think the top 3 answers that I get are people who are gardeners and want the pollination.
Okay.
A lot of people with fruit trees, especially. And then people who are just nature lovers, maybe environmentalists, people who are maybe concerned about what's happening with the bees, why they're dying. And then people who are just, I don't know, they just, for random reasons, it came to their attention, bees.
I think there's a general curiosity about bees to begin with.
Definitely.
With a lot of people. I mean, myself included. I mean,
if you're a gardener, if you're a plant person at all, fruit trees, citrus trees, vegetables, flowers, all of that. I mean, the only way that happens is with bees. I mean, you can have a wonderful flowering plant, but if you have no bees to pollinate it, it doesn't flower much or, doesn't set fruit. So Hilary, let's get into the bees a little bit. All right. So what's your number one tip for you want to start a beehive? Where are you going to send people aside from your class?
Yeah. And this goes to my other question that goes along with what Tiger's saying is from the very beginning, what do you do? What is the first thing you do to get this all underway?
So a lot of research, basically. Yeah. And I do want to say that I have an online version of this class now. So even if you're not in San Diego, you can actually take that intro class online. You can stream it.
What's that website?
You can go to my website, which is girlnextdoorhoney.com, and you can stream from there, or you can buy it and then stream from there.
Better type that in carefully. You might get something you don't expect on the
yeah, you do have to type it in carefully. Don't forget the honey part of it. But there's a lot of great books out there. One of my favorite things, which is free, that you can watch online if you want to learn more about bees, is this Nova special called Tales from the Hive. And you can watch it on YouTube, and I think you can watch it on the Nova website. So the first half of my intro class is just all about bees and how they live, because I think the best thing you can do as a beekeeper is learn as much as you can about how bees live without a beekeeper. Because there's just a lot of different ways to do things in beekeeping. There's a lot of different techniques, and it's really hard as a beginner because it's really overwhelming and you're not really sure, when people present you with all these options and you just don't know what's the best. So I always tell people to learn what you can about the bees and then use that as your kind of guiding star. What would the bees do?
What is the ultimate goal? So you're keeping bees for what is the eventual outcome of what you want to have happen?
Well, I think a lot of new beekeepers start out with the goal of they want honey. But after you've actually been beekeeping for a while, your goal is really just to have your bees be alive. And, to have them be healthy.
Sure.
So you have to have a big, healthy colony, and usually it should be a year old before you can even harvest honey. So it's a big investment of mostly research to get yourself skilled enough to be able to get a hive to that point. Sometimes, you don't really know what you're doing and you just get lucky because the bees know what they're doing and you just, they make honey and you didn't mess it up. What's interesting is sometimes if you really don't know what you're doing as a new beekeeper, you actually, mess something up so bad that you kill your bees or something like that.
A lot of trial and error, obviously.
Yeah.
And when we get back, we'll talk about some of the maintenance parts of it too, because you can't just leave the hive alone and then walk away for a year.
Okay, so questions, comments, probably your best bet right there on Facebook Live as I see more and more people joining us this morning. Going to come back with Hilary, beekeeper here in studio. Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. It is Garden America. Happy Christmas weekend. Hope everything is going well your way. We do appreciate you joining us. And again, streaming live on Biz Talk Radio. Want to pick up the phone? 855-424-9825. Garden America continues right after this.
Have you heard about Biz TV? Biz TV is the home for America's entrepreneurs, small business, and those who want to succeed in life. It's the only national television network committed to airing original, high-quality, educational, and inspirational programming about real business people. Biz TV can provide the right kind of ideas, motivation, and education to help fuel the next generation of business owners. Visit biztv.com and call your satellite or cable service provider to request Biz TV.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
Being a business owner or entrepreneur can feel lonely. Unless your friends have walked the same path, they just don't understand your passion. How many times have you been asked, when are you going to get a real job? And when you finally do make it big, all of a sudden the doubters tell you they always knew you would. Does this sound familiar? You see, at BizBod, we understand the road you're on because we're on the same path. That's why we created a club just for you. Meet other people on the same path you're on and get content that will help you grow your business, all for only $49.95 a year. And if you join today, you can get your first 30 days free with promo code. This is a limited time offer, so try it for free, and who knows, you might be able to help other members. Simply go to bizbod.com and enter promo code radio.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. That's 800-915-9658.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-285-4765 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-285-4765. Again, 800-285-4765.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
You want to know about bees? You came to the right place. It is Garden America for your Saturday morning. We call this Christmas weekend. Special in-studio guest along with myself, Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, Hilary, it's Kearney, right?
Yeah.
Hilary Kearney, beekeeper. And boy, we had a lot of great conversations during the break, and we want to continue along that avenue, Tiger, if possible, because besides beekeeping, do you still do bee removal?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
limited number.
Limited number. Let's talk about what that entails, because I would imagine somebody says, hey, we've got a hive or we've got a beehive somewhere in our property. We want you to remove it. It's not as simple as just coming out there. A lot of work involved, right?
Yeah, and it depends on the situation too. So, the simple removals are just the swarm arrives on your property. It's only been there a couple of days.
They're not established yet.
They're not established yet. So the swarm is a ball of bees, and they haven't built any comb yet. So those are simple, especially if they're easy to access, like if they're low in a tree or something.
Right.
But then, people don't always notice when bees move onto their property. So sometimes they go into the wall, or they go into an owl box, or they go into your compost bin, and it's sometimes it's like months before people notice, or you just have, you have a chest or something laying around in your backyard and they move into there. And, people, it's kind of like a joke amongst people who do bee removals that like they tell you that the hive has been there a week, and then you get there and it's like, it's been there a year.
There's more honey than in the hive you've been keeping.
Exactly.
At your own house.
Yeah.
Now, when we were talking before the break about beehives, people need to realize that if you want your own hive for your backyard, it's not just a matter of you start this hive, you throw some bees in it, and you let them do their thing. Like, they can become overpopulated, disease. They could just simply leave the hive for no apparent reason, kind of a thing, right? Like, you have to maintain it.
Yeah, it's not like having a birdhouse in your yard. You don't want to set up a hive and then not actually manage it. So you should be checking about once a month to make sure that it's healthy, to make sure there's still a queen in there, and to make sure it's not getting overcrowded or, becoming too small, because if you leave a bunch of boxes stacked up on there, they're all empty, they're not using it. They have to maintain all of that space. So you're adding space, you're taking away space depending on the size of the hive, and that changes throughout the year. So yesterday is the solstice. I always tell people to think about, when the days start getting longer, the beehives are starting to get bigger, more active, they're growing. And then when the days start getting shorter, it starts shrinking again. So it moves with the days. They get bigger and smaller depending on the season.
Oh.
So how do you know when there's too many bees, and then what do you do? What's the plan of attack if you think it's getting too crowded?
So you look in there, and if it looks crowded, you add more room. But what I also recommend people do is you have to kind of make holes in their brood nest. So brood is their babies.
Right.
So there's an area inside of the hive where they're making their babies, and if that area gets crowded, that's when they'll swarm. So the swarming is when half of the colony leaves with the queen and goes to colonize some other location. So they fly off and they try to go set up a new hive somewhere. And beekeepers don't like that because when they leave, they take a lot of honey with them. They have these honey stomachs inside of them where they can store honey and carry it with them. So they've packed their bags, they took their honey. You lose your queen also. They'll make a new queen, but she might not be as nice or as successful. So yes, and also then they go into your neighbor's yard or who knows where, and they might get exterminated. So it's just kind of, you try to keep them from swarming.
Right.
You can't always stop it, but you have to give them space in that area where they're making their babies. So you have to actually pull out what are called frames and move them up into the new box that you add.
Now, this might be kind of a silly question, but if you work with the same hive and the same bees for a long time, do they kind of know you? Are they used to you? Do they, it's just her?
Yeah, I think they do. There's actually been studies that say they can recognize human faces, individual human faces. So
Right.
their brains, even though they're tiny, are actually capable of the same cognition that we have as humans. So the same way that we recognize our friends in a crowd, bees can recognize human faces in the same way.
Now, we know that when there's a good pollination or some place that bees ought to go, they come back and do a little dance, and then that's their way of communicating to where the pollen is or where the flower is. Do you see that? Are you observing that activity when they dance?
Oh, yeah, you can see that happening in the hive. There's an area in the hive that is called the dance floor. It's usually...
It's a club, right?
It's a club, yeah.
Got a
No,
little
it's...
disco ball.
You can tell by the disco ball, yeah. It's usually by the front entrance. So it's easy access for the foragers who are
Sure.
coming back. And you'll see them. You can actually see them like turning and waggling their little bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
And I feel, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but beekeeping has gotten a lot more popular over the years. And nowadays you see a lot of hives out there on the market. what's your idea as far as, if you're researching this online, you said do a lot of research, figure out something. There's a lot of products out there for hives. I mean, is it good to go to the go-to boxes and, that's just the best way to do it? Or are there some other products out there that are actually really easy for backyard beekeepers that you recommend?
So when you're a beginner, it's better to just stick with kind of status quo stuff, I think, because there's going to be the most information and, it's going to be the easiest for you to research something that's pretty standard. And then once you get more experience, then it's really fun to explore like different hive designs that are maybe less popular. But I usually tell people to just kind of stick with the Langstroth hive because that's the most popular hive. Most of the books are kind of centered around keeping with that style hive. The exception would be if you have any trouble, like physical limitations lifting, because beekeeping is really hard labor and it's really difficult to lift these really heavy boxes. So with the Langstroth hive, it's a bunch of boxes stacked on top of each other. To get to the lower boxes, you have to be able to lift the upper boxes up and off, and they can weigh like 100 pounds. So if that is, a limiting factor to you, if you have back problems, I really like the top bar style hives. There's not as much information about, keeping with top bar hives, but it's worth it if if you're not able to lift, because you're only lifting one bar at a time. So you're only ever lifting like 10 pounds.
Oh, that's not too bad. Somebody wrote on Facebook.
Yeah, you see that, the Apis, right?
Are you familiar with this at all, Hilary? She had wrote something about if your pets get stung, what was it called? Apis?
API, have Apis on hand?
I think maybe an EpiPen is what she's talking
Okay,
about.
maybe.
I don't know what I don't know what that is.
Okay, you know what? It's Karen. I know this is Karen Healy. She takes care of our cats and she does a lot of grooming and things like that. So she said have Apis or something on hand. Well, what would you suggest if your pets get stung?
Just they're fine unless they're allergic.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same with humans. People make such a big deal about getting stung. There's really not a big deal unless you're getting stung more than 10 times at once.
And if you know you're allergic, that's a problem.
Yeah. So there are pets who are allergic, and you would find out the hard way.
Yeah.
I definitely had a client whose dog ended up being allergic. And, when she had the incident, the dog got stung. I don't know how many times. Most dogs are smart enough that they learn not to go to the hives. But she had this one dog that would just go and snuffle right at the entrance. And I don't know how many times the dog got stung, but it went into like a seizure. She had to take it to the ER. It was fine. The dog is fine. But so after that happened, I was like, well, should we stop? Should we move the hives out of here? And she was like, no, I'm just going to put up a fence. I don't want to lose my bees. So, it's crazy because some beekeepers become allergic and they still keep bees. They just don't want to give it up. But yeah.
With that, is there any tips on where you put your hive for the yard?
Yeah. Where you put your hive in your yard is really important because once you've placed your hive, it's not easy to move them. They navigate to that specific location. They learn the location. So you actually can't move them more than 3 feet at a time or they'll get really confused. So if you were to move them 20 feet, they would go back to the old location and just circle and cause total chaos in your yard. So you want to move them only a little bit at a time if you have to do that. But ideally, you would just pick the right spot to begin with. And of course, it depends on your yard. You want to look at whatever beekeeping regulations might be in your city.
Oh, that's a great point.
So you want to look that up because a lot of times there's regulations about distance from the property lines or something like that. But basically, you want to put them in a part of your yard where there's not a lot of activity. And then the way that you face the entrance is really important. So there's going to be a lot of flying activity for about 10 to 15 feet in front of the entrance. Mm-hmm. You can usually walk behind the hive and not have a ton of flight activity, but you never know what they're going to do. Sometimes it's like an airport, there's just bees going in and out all day, and sometimes they're just doing a U-turn as soon as they come out of the entrance. They're like, just turn around the other way. But you just kind of want to think about what part of my yard am I not active in. A lot of people get this like very romantic notion about beekeeping, and they want to set up this hive right in the middle of their flower garden.
They want to make it part of their landscape.
Yeah, and
we're gonna take a break. A lot more as far as beekeeping with our guest Hilary in studio this morning. So keep those questions, those comments coming on Facebook Live, or pick up the phone, call us at 855-424 9825. This hour is going right by very quickly. A lot of great information. Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, thank you for tuning in. Facebook Live, and of course streaming on Biz Talk Radio. Taking a break, stepping aside, coming right back.
Having bug problems this season? Need an overall solution? Try Natural Guard Spinosad Soap. This combination of spinosad and fatty acids kills aphids, mealybugs, worms, caterpillars, and other bugs that plague your garden. It's also safe to use around your fruit and veggies to make sure you enjoy your crop and not those pesky critters. Find Natural Guard Spinosad Soap in a ready-to-use bottle or ready-to-spray for those large garden plots at your favorite independent garden center. Go to fertilome.com for more information. Want a better-looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great-looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on consumeraffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-316-5271. That's 1-800-316-5271. 1-800-316-5271. Call now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-521-9579 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-521-9579 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-521-9579. That's 1-800-521-9579. Again, 1-800-521-9579.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to greathealthywater.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to greathealthywater.com. That's greathealthywater.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
You know, hard to believe this is our final segment here on Garden America, at least for hour number one, that is. Hour two, of course, coming up at about 6 minutes after, 51 minutes after the hour. Good news, if you want to email John, he's got his phone up and ready, John at gardenamerica.com. Of course, Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825, Facebook Live. Beginning a lot of questions and comments on that as well as we continue with our guest and a lot of great information, Tiger.
Yeah, and I mean, she shared a lot of information already on our program today, but there's even more great information on her website, and that was girlnextdoorhoney.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and on that website, if you go there, you're going to find online classes to be able to take and start your own hive. You know, her class schedule, you know, as she mentioned, she hosts a monthly beginner's class, but there's also other classes on there as well. She hosts bee tours.
A bee tour where you can put a suit on and actually you'll take people around and show them exactly what you do.
And you take some bee suit selfies.
Of course, who doesn't want to take a bee? Well, let me ask you this. You say you've been stung a few times. Of course, that's part of the job, comes with the territory. But are you comfortable enough? Can you sometimes just work around them without a bee suit?
I could, but I just don't.
Not a good idea.
Well, it's just not worth it, you know. And there are people who do that. We have Africanized bees here.
Oh yeah.
And
have you come across any, by the way?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But you know, they're wild animals, and they're not totally predictable. And no matter how experienced you are as a beekeeper, you know, even these guys who are in, you know, on the East Coast where they don't have Africanized bees, you know, they work without a bee suit, and they can be comfortable doing that for like 30 years. And then one day something goes wrong. They're not wearing a suit. They're stung 30 times. Bam, you're in the hospital.
Okay, so I'm really curious about your experience with the Africanized bees, and I'm sure a lot of people are too. Don't have a whole lot of time, but give us a little insight on your experience with them.
Well, basically, they've been here for like 20 years now. They've been breeding with the bees that were already here, and I think they're getting more gentle. So humans are naturally selecting for them to be gentle without realizing it. If you have a nasty, mean beehive in your yard, you're going to exterminate it. If you have a beehive that's not bothering anyone, you're probably going to leave it just because you don't want to pay someone to get rid of it. Yeah. So in the city, I've noticed really, especially the last couple of years, the bees have been much more calm. The ones that I get anyway. If I go out to East County or the areas with more open space, they get nastier. And that's because there's these big open spaces where there's no humans around. They're allowed to exist and send swarms out, and then they move closer into the city. So it's definitely an issue, but it's not as black and white as it's painted in the media. It's really, you know, each colony is unique, has unique behaviors, and some of them are actually really fine, and some of them are really terrible, like what you see on the news.
Just like people.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, before we have to finish too, there are two questions on Facebook that I want to get to. And one is a woman that has a wild hive in her citrus tree area. And she asked, it's swarmed 4 times in a few years. And is there anything that they need to be concerned about? But then another woman also asked, when they swarm, are they more docile or are they more aggressive?
Yeah,
so maybe
you
can combine the wild hive in your house. Is it something you need to be worried about, or if they're just kind of doing their own thing, are they okay? And then what about when they do swarm? What do people need to worry about?
So leaving a wild hive in your yard is one of those things where, like, yeah, it's fine until it's not. You know, so it's, you know, there are people who go for years and years with a wild hive and they never have any issues, and they may never have any issues. But if they turn defensive, if you're in an Africanized zone, they change. Each time they swarm, they're getting a new queen, and that queen mates with whatever riffraff males are around. And if any of
like we said, just like humans.
Yeah, and if any of those males, you know, carry the gene for defensive behavior, then your colony can shift to become more defensive. So, if it hasn't been a problem, maybe it's never going to be one, but it could be a problem. So there's a risk. And when they do swarm, bees are defensive, not aggressive. They're not flying around looking to sting anyone, especially when they're away from their hive, when they're on flowers. You don't have to worry about them. They don't care about you. They're just working. But they will defend their nest. They'll defend their hive. So when they swarm, what they are is homeless. They don't have a nest. They don't have any comb. They don't have any babies to protect. They don't have any honey. And so they're really docile when they're a swarm. So when you see like a ball of bees hanging from a bush, you can walk. I could catch that without a suit on, and I usually start out with a suit on, and then if I see that they're gentle, I'll take it off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a situation where I could take a suit off. If you see pictures of me without a suit on, I did it just for the photo. I did it just for the magazine or whatever.
Sure,
I normally wear a suit, but you never know. You never know with bees. So like I have a friend who caught a swarm and they totally stung him a bunch, and it was just an oddball. For whatever reason they were upset. I don't know what happened, but usually they're really, really docile.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And hopefully that answers the questions on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that did. And then, so Hilary, do you want to talk? Do you have any books or anything coming out in the future?
Yeah, I actually have a book coming out in April. It's called Queen Spotting. And if you're on Instagram, you can follow me on there. It's at Girl Next Door Honey. And I play this game on there called Queen Spotting, where I put up a picture of a lot of bees. And it's basically like Where's Waldo, but with bees. So you try to find the queen among all these bees. People are really into it. I have like 50-something thousand followers, and people are like obsessed with this game. So I wrote a book, and it tells you a lot of really interesting things about bees, but it's kind of all thematically about the queen. There's a chapter that goes really in depth, like into the life of the queen. And then I have all these short stories throughout about my beekeeping adventures, all the crazy things I've done. And then there's all the queen spotting puzzles that you can play. So you can kind of go through it. There's going to be these fold out pages where you try to find the queen.
Cool. You just look for the tiara, right? It's very simple.
Yeah.
She's the one wearing the crown.
Right, exactly. There you go.
Big robe on her and everything.
Okay, we're just about out of time here as we move toward the top of the hour, Tiger. Hilary, this is a quick hour.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Thank you very much for joining us. I know our listeners got a lot out of hearing you talk about bees and answering a few of their questions. And, again, girlnextdoorhoney.com is her website for more information. And you can probably be able to get the book on there soon. You have the classes, you have the tours, lots of good information. Or Instagram as well. Make sure to.
Do you live in East County?
No, I live in the South Bay.
Okay, all right. So that answers that question in terms of your reference to the more aggressive bees in the East County where there's less of a population.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining us this morning, Hilary.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And to give a big old wave to the camera so people can see your face a little better. Thank you so much. We're going to take a break. We've got news coming up on many of these Biz Talk affiliates. And then we are coming back. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Thank you, Hilary. Hour 2 right around the corner. And if you're on Facebook Live, get those questions, those comments ready. You can also email us, john@gardenamerica.com. Coming back 6 minutes after. News up next on many of these stations.
Listen on the go. Download the Biz Talk Radio app. Available on iOS, Android, and BlackBerry. Biz Talk Radio. The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at Biz Talk Radio.
For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent. politicians in Washington playing the role of Grinch for the hundreds of thousands of federal workers who won't be getting paid during the partial government shutdown. As Congress and the president try to resolve their differences over funding for a wall, Republican Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma says there are several things to consider.
Everyone wants a resolution for exactly what it means when you talk about border security. What is fencing? What's technology? What's staffing? I think there's a general agreement now that we need to do border security. Now it's figuring out how much for each amount.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham allowed CNN to accompany him in a recent visit to Afghanistan. He's worried that pulling out of Afghanistan too soon may spark a second 9/11.
The ISIS threat in Afghanistan is far greater than I thought it was. If you get a peace agreement tomorrow between the Taliban and the Afghan government, that will not solve the threat to our homeland.
The U.S. military ordered to draw up plans to withdraw about half the troops from that country. You're listening to USA Radio News.
This is a national health alert from the Healthcare Hotline. Are you on Medicare and or have private insurance and suffer from back pain? MD Topical has a solution for you. Today, you can qualify to receive a pain-relieving treatment, such as a comfortable back brace or a customized pain treatment at little or no cost. Call MD Topical toll-free now, 877-875-5909. It just takes a couple of minutes to qualify for these amazing treatments that have helped thousands of people with severe pain. Your personalized pain treatment will be delivered directly to your door. Call MD Topical toll-free, 877-875-5909, or go to mdtopical.com and get started on your road to a pain-free life. Call MD Topical toll-free, 877-875-5909, or go to mdtopical.com.
More now on our top story. Randy Irvin, national president of the National Federation of Federal Employees, says this is a very difficult time for federal employees who aren't being paid during the shutdown.
They're really concerned about losing their paychecks. It's really sad that this is happening around the holidays. Government shutdown means that those 380,000 workers that you're talking about are going to be without pay.
President Trump insists he won't sign any spending bill that does not include $5 billion for the border wall. It's the last weekend for shopping before Christmas, and retail stores are expected to be packed across the country. Retail industry analyst Hilda Herzog says while sales are abundant, you'll find the deepest discounts in some specific areas.
If you're going out there and shopping and you're hitting up retail stores or even department stores, you'll see clothing discounts of anywhere between 60 to 75% off. And for electronics, you can see discounts of upwards of 50% off.
You're listening to USA Radio News.
With a recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now, before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290, 800-965-1290.
Consumer Reports has listed some retailers with the best and worst return policies. Some stores will let you return anything even without a receipt. Others shackle you with time limits and restocking fees. John Clemens has more.
Consumer Reports has listed Nordstrom with one of the best with no receipts required, no time limits, and no original tags needed. LL Bean is another one listed that gives consumers up to 1 year to return an item. Forever 21 is among the stores that are tough for returning items with a policy that returns must be made within 30 days to get an exchange or refund. One survey found 1/3 of Christmas shoppers consider a store's return policy as an important factor for consumers.
A brief scare at a Delaware shopping mall last night. Master Corporal Michael Austin.
There was a report of shots fired in the Christiana Mall located in Newark, Delaware. At this time, there are no injuries as a result of any type of shooting.
The mall was evacuated and closed on one of the biggest nights for Christmas shopping, but no evidence of gunfire was found. Several people said they saw two people fighting and then thought they heard shots. Ohio Governor John Kasich vetoed a bill Friday that would have increased benefits for deceased first responders' families because lawmakers tacked onto the bill a $13,000 pay increase for themselves. But some of the bill's supporters hope to see Kasich's veto overridden next week. The proposed pay increase for state lawmakers was added to the bill late in the session before the final vote last week. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.
Time changes everything. For me, becoming a single father of two young kids, it changed my ability to use my timeshare. The frustration of not being able to use it was compounded by annual maintenance fees that nearly tripled over a 3-year period. I was desperate to get out. After searching online for Sell My Timeshare or Get Out of My Timeshare, it just looked like one scam after another. I needed a real, permanent, and legitimate way to get out of this for good. I'm Brandon Reed, the founder of Timeshare Exit Team. We will get you out of the timeshare you can't use or can't afford anymore. We get people out safely, legally, and permanently. We are more successful because we have more solutions. Schedule a free consultation to review your ownership situation and find the best strategy for you. If we can't get you out, we will give you a full refund. Call Timeshare Exit Team today.
Call 800-929-8112. That's 800-929-8112. That's 800-929-8112.
Call Timeshare Exit Team today.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at GardenAmerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
And we are back. It is hour number 2. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Thank you for listening to us via Biz Talk Radio streaming. And, of course, right there on Facebook Live, hopefully we addressed most, if not all, of your questions pertaining to bees with our guest, Hilary, during that first hour. So continue to use Facebook Live with questions, comments here. Wintertime, in fact, everywhere. Yesterday was the solstice, first day of winter yesterday, John,
Yeah,
right?
the days are getting longer. We're heading to spring.
Oh, yeah, already. So, wherever you are, questions, comments, GardenAmerica.com or Facebook Live.
Tiger over there sticking his finger in the honey.
Yeah, I got my head stuck in the honey pot. It's delicious.
What are you, Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, Hilary left us this little thing of honey to try. It's delicious.
They have different types of honey, right? Depending on where the bees gather their nectar.
And it changes the flavor. And then the other thing that people say is that if you have children or you are a person that has a lot of allergies, that you want to use local honey. Because I guess if you use local honey, it helps you build up an immune system to the natural grasses, flowers, pollen in your area.
Indigenous to your area.
Yeah, if you use honey that, comes from wherever, you don't build up the tolerances. But if you use local honey, it's actually better for you. So,
and we talk about this during the break with her? Maybe we weren't mentioning it on air, but I was fascinated with, nobody really knows what's causing bee colony collapse.
Right. Is that still an issue, John?
Yeah, and there's a lot of different issues. But one of the things that Hilary pointed out was the fact that we haul bees all over the country to pollinate certain fruit crops. And she said, if oranges are good for kids, but if you locked your kid in a room and just fed him oranges for a year, he wouldn't be healthy.
No, not at all. He might even die.
Yeah.
Or he or she might even die.
It wouldn't be of scurvy, but it would be of something else.
That's good.
So
that's
the thing you're doing with bees. When they're hauling them off to, say, an orange orchard, all they're getting fed is that particular flower.
Almonds,
and Hilary mentioned, they even go through with Roundup and kill all the weeds, so they don't even have the weed flowers to harvest.
It's literally just the tree.
Yeah.
Just the tree that is in that field.
Right. So monocultures are not good for, and it makes sense, really, because in nature, you don't see monocultures anywhere.
No. And then, on that point, I asked her, I said, hey, how far does a bee fly? And she says, average is a mile as long as there's
up
a good
to 3 miles.
Good food source, and then up to 3 miles if they're really stretching it.
Sure.
Kind of a thing. And so those orchards are huge, and so even if they were to fly to the full extent of their path, they probably wouldn't get out of the orchard because they're just stuck in it. They're stuck in the middle of it.
Right.
And they're not going to get that other varieties of pollens and things like that. So,
and obviously, I liked what she said about moving the hive around. Their sense of direction is very good, but you can confuse them if you move something more than 3 feet. Now
That's
they're confused.
weird, huh?
Now
That
they're
is
like,
weird.
you know,
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously, they know the area very well where they're pollinating and so on and so forth. They do the dance to point to the, the flowers or wherever they're going to. So I wonder how it is that they, birds navigate with, I guess, the sun, the stars, whatever. Bees obviously have some kind of built-in radar system to know exactly where they are from a directional standpoint.
And then I thought it was interesting to know, too, that I've always felt flowers were the number one pollinators, meaning, the reason why, bees, things, we need a lot of flowers. But she was saying trees. Trees are the biggest pollinator. And if you think about it, you get a large tree with, a eucalyptus tree, a pine tree, just these large trees, the, floss silk tree, the grevillea trees, they have a ton of structure, and they would make a lot of pollen. And I never thought about that.
But we think flowers.
But because that's the thing too, is that you don't see reproduction of trees, meaning, I've always found it interesting, with trees that you don't see 1,000 trees popping up, even though it produces a lot of pine cones, even though it produces a lot of figs. Figs, the fruiting figs are different, but like Moreton Bay fig, you can plant a Moreton Bay fig tree in a park and it can grow into a beautiful, majestic tree, and it flowers a ton and it produces a lot of seeds, but you don't see it turn into a Moreton Bay, forest after 3 years. It just doesn't do that. They don't actually, create more trees. And I just never thought with the pollination that I always felt if there was a lot of pollination, there would be a lot of more of these plants. But it's interesting.
John, what is that ground cover? I keep forgetting. We have it. Apple. What is it called?
Red apple.
Red apple.
Red apple. We have a lot of red apple ground cover in and around our condo. Bees everywhere. I mean, they're all over the place.
Yeah,
I
love that.
I walk right through them. They don't bother me. They're not, and she brought up a very good point about them not being aggressive. They're more defensive.
They're working. They're not protecting their hives.
Yeah,
they're working.
They're working, exactly. They have other things on their mind.
When you're in here recording, your production stuff, Brian,
right, during the week,
somebody doesn't walk down the hall and you just run out and attack them.
Well, not usually.
Yes, I do.
Somebody just walks by and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I do. I just walk out. Actually, that'd be a great viral video to film. That would be great. But yeah, you're right. Leave the bee. They're doing their job. They're not going to. You know what I think is sad, and we've all seen it. When you see that one little individual bee that may be on your windshield or someplace all by himself, and he's dying. Like,
oh yeah,
like
there's nothing you can do.
This is it. He's by himself, and he's not long for this world. So
that's sad.
It is sad. And we're not even going into a break, so we can talk about some more positive things, not to leave you on a sour, negative note.
You know what is even more so than red apple for attracting bees, I think, is that carapia. If you've planted carapia, you're going to have bees forever.
We should explain what Tiger's doing.
What is he doing?
Yeah, John doesn't even know.
Yeah, John. So those watching on Facebook, you'll see Tiger moving some pothos around here, which of course is my favorite little plant to have in my studio because it's so easy. Just break a piece off, stick it in water, and it roots. So, Tiger, what are we going to be doing for the next couple of weeks as this little experiment takes place?
Yeah, so I've got during the next commercial break, I'm going to get some water. But basically, we're going to do a little science experiment for our Facebook viewers that in one of these glass containers, we're going to take and just fill it with regular water, and we're going to put the pothos in it, and, it'll root into it eventually, and, it'll do what we've had here with other pothos around, that they'll just begin to grow and root. And the other one, we're going to put some HB 101 in the water, and we're going to see if it roots quicker. And for full discretion for all of our listeners and viewers is that we don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see.
No, we don't.
We've been talking about, HB 101 and being a great product, and we want to, try it out and test it and see what happens. And I mean, we understand we're just comparing it from water to HB 101.
Right.
I'm sure there's other fertilizers that we can use in the other.
And we should, again, better. HB 101 is not a fertilizer. It's more of a vitamin, more of a pick-me-up for your plants.
Yeah.
I do want you to know that the water that you see and the ones that I have in the studio, it's not out of the sink. It's from the kitchen. It's the fresh water.
Ah.
So there's a lot of oxygen in the water. So they tell us, because the water tastes really good. And much like John talks about with rainwater, there's oxygen within each raindrop. So I try to use good water.
So, yeah, I took some cuttings from my pothos at home.
Look at that. You can just stick that anywhere. It's going to grow. I just think I just love it. It's just so simple.
You know, yesterday I went to Del Mar. Yesterday? No, Thursday. Thursday I went to Del Mar and took cuttings of roses at John and Becky Hook's son's house. And they had probably about 70 roses that they had the only one of that rose in the country was at his house because they had brought them over from France a couple years ago. And they were thinking of moving here and they decided to stay in France. So they wanted these roses to be propagated and to be disseminated to get out there.
And you said there was one that was just one of a kind, you said?
No, there was 70 that there's only one in the United States, and it's that one over in Del Mar.
Okay.
So we took cuttings and I'm still not finished putting them all up. But what I did yesterday was I took the cuttings and then put them in a bucket of water with a little bit of bleach in to kill any fungus that would be on the plant. Let them sit there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Then I took them out of there and washed the bleach off in just a regular bucket of water. And then I put it into a bucket of water that had HB 101 in and let them soak there for a while. And from there, I took them out and then put them in the mist system in the perlite to see if they'll root. So while you guys are it's funny you guys are doing this experiment because
you were doing your own?
Doing my own there at home.
Okay, so how's this going to work? One is going to be, we should put a label on the one with the HB 101 so that when I come in to work during the week, I know what's going on.
Okay.
Because we're going to leave him here, right?
Yeah, we're going to leave him right here. And so we'll
Want
be
a
able to see
better-looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great-looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home, and you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-670-2142. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-670-2142. 800-670-2142. That's 800-670-2142.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone.
Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-569-3414. That's 800-569-3414. Again, 800-569-3414.
Are you ready to leave your corporate job behind and be your own boss? Have you ever dreamed of owning a business? Do you have $50,000 or more sitting around in a 401k? If you answered yes, it's time to invest in yourself by buying or starting a business or franchise. IRS code allows you to use money in a 401k to invest in a business with absolutely no penalties or taxes. At Guidant Financial, we've helped more than 11,000 entrepreneurs invest $3 billion in retirement assets into businesses and franchises of their dreams. So if you've got $50,000 or more in a 401k and you're looking for a way to start a business, call Guidant Financial now for free information and to learn more. Operators are standing by for your call. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825 or John at gardenamerica.com.
We are back. It is, 21 minutes after the hour. I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox. John Bagnasco coming to you live on Facebook and, of course, via streaming Biz Talk Radio. John at gardenamerica.com. Questions, comments, your best bet. They'll right there on Facebook Live. We've got an experiment we're developing right now with HB 101 and some pothos plants. We'll talk about that. Other than that, where did we leave off, John?
Well, we got a nice email.
Okay.
This is Dear John, Bryan, and Tiger.
It's a Dear John letter.
Bryan and Tiger letter, too.
Okay, all right.
I have a rare opportunity to listen to the show this morning, so I didn't want to let it pass without sending all of you, a Christmas greeting. I pray you are blessed with a wonderful Christmas with those you love and have a healthy and prosperous New Year. Please, God bless Carla. And then she puts in parentheses, from Huntington Beach, in case you forgot.
No, we didn't forget Carla. Huntington Beach. Thank you so much. Been a while since we've heard from Carla.
Yeah, it's so nice. And this, our same wishes to Carla and everyone listening. Hope that you have a blessed Christmas and a happy New Year.
And we thank you for watching us on Facebook. A lot of new names that have popped up, a lot of new names. So we do appreciate that. Okay.
Also got Patty in San Marcos. And she said that her father-in-law was a beekeeper for 20 years in the 80s and 90s.
How about that, huh? You never know.
Yeah. There's a, I'm trying to, is this a person?
Well,
it looks like send me a picture of a stormtrooper from Star Wars.
It's a bee suit.
Oh, it's just the suit, huh?
Just the suit, yeah.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what was in it.
It's a bee suit and smoker. And
oh, okay.
Okay, so Tiger, how far have you gotten on your little thing you're setting up here?
All right, so we've got our 2 glasses filled halfway with water, and one of them we're going to put the dropper of HB 101. And we have these little free samples HB 101 sent us. I'm just going to do the whole little dropper. I'm sure there's probably more than what they.
I think there's 5 drops in there, right? And that's usually what you put when you accept the.
So in one of them, we're going to do the little trial sample of HB 101 and then just leave this pothos.
Okay.
And
one
the
closest
other one,
to me has the HB 101.
Yeah, and then the other one will just be regular water. And then we'll try to see how quickly their roots begin to grow.
So we'll see if
the roots on pothos come out from the bottom.
They come out of the little leaf.
There's a little node there. See, John, look at
you
this
left like the node is above water, and you left that long period.
I can't tell from
that
here.
long part on the bottom.
Okay, here we go. I'll cut this off.
Yeah. Plus, the fact it'll sit in the water probably a little better as well.
Better. I'm trying to keep my head on my hand. Hold on.
Now, speaking of roots, should I go in there and just cut a bunch of roots and clean it up a little bit, John? on this one in the middle, sitting on the console?
Why?
Just let it go. Leave it, huh? There's no. I mean,
well, roots are the
well,
lifeblood.
no, I understand. If I wanted to thin those roots out,
why would you?
it just gets crowded in there. It doesn't look neat.
That would be like somebody saying, "Do you mind if I just opened you up and took out some of your veins? You got veins all over your body. Let's just thin them out a little bit."
Gastric bypass right there.
Thank you. Yeah, see, Tiger's got an answer for that.
I would never say you need gastric bypass, but Tiger wants to say that.
Okay, so we've got so we take a good look. I'll take a picture too. And
Yeah.
we'll date it and see how fast the HB 101 works, or if it is effective at all.
Yeah, we'll see what happens over the holidays, huh?
Yeah.
And then for those of you that order from gardenamerica.com plants, you guys get these little free samples sometimes, right?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, John remembers to put them in the box.
Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, sometimes John has little surprises in there.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get to a couple of questions, shall we? Do you have your Facebook open, Tiger?
Yeah, but I'm having trouble reading one of them. And it's Carolyn Conway, and she said that we're considering Carapia as ground cover, but one of the residents avoids bees, I guess from John's comment, and that's all I have. I don't know what
Yeah,
the rest
that
of
would
it.
it definitely is going to attract bees.
Yeah. So if she was considering Carapia as a ground cover and they want to get something that doesn't attract bees, definitely wouldn't choose that, because red apple, rosemary, Carapia,
That's
those
going
are
to
all
attract
gonna
bees.
Attract a lot of
Well,
bees.
what about a certain ice plant? I don't know. Of course, you're going to.
Well, all ice plants will attract bees because they got a lot of flowers.
Okay.
If you wanted something that wasn't going to attract bees, that was a ground cover, mostly just something that's going to be leafy green with no flowers. So ivies, Myoporum even does, but that's highly seasonal flower.
Well, same thing on the ice plants that are once flowering.
Yeah.
That flower in the spring. Then you've got bees, as you said, but just during that window that they're flowering.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just fascinated by Carapia. I don't know why. It grows everywhere. It roots deep. It's drought tolerant, easy to maintain. You can mow it if you want, but it does attract bees.
Did you see Lenore's comment about her poinsettia?
No, because I don't have.
Okay, so she said that they had a poinsettia plant they bought. The first couple of 2 or 3 days, it lost its leaves. They added HB 101. Now it's back.
The leaves are back?
It's back. She says, let's see, new leaves after spraying with HB 101.
Wow.
That's just incredible. These stories that we hear about HB 101.
Hey, that reminds me of something else we should let our listeners know. How many years have we done radio shows where you tell people how to get their poinsettia to bloom again next year, right? Putting it in the dark. And I would say the majority of the new poinsettias are not daylight sensitive, so they don't need the dark treatment in order to bloom. So if you're buying a poinsettia now and you want to save it for next year and get it to bloom, I know it's not good for retail garden centers, Tiger, because you want people to come back and get a new one every year, and you should, so you've got one that looks really good.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, one in your yard versus one you get in the garden center, big difference usually.
Yeah, but they will rebloom.
Yeah, and they do well in Southern California.
Oh yeah,
across the West.
Because it's dry.
Arizona, New Mexico.
Just as long as it doesn't freeze.
Yeah. Probably, they're actually really nice plants. And it's cool because when people put them in their yard, and it's not kind of one of those plants that you plant and forget about, but then it's really showy. And then I will say, and even the new varieties that are not daylight sensitive, they still only, they more turn red in what, January?
Yeah, it's as the daylight shortens, so they're going to start. I think they'll be ready for Christmas usually, because that's the shortest time of the year.
Because usually the ones in the yard,
commercially when they grow them, they just stick the cuttings and they don't black cloth them like they used to have
they
to.
used to. So
I
the
think
new
they'll be
ones,
ready.
so the new ones would be red in Christmas for you in your yard, and they do well. And so it's one of those plants that you plant in there, you forget about it, and then it's kind of showy in the wintertime. When in the wintertime, you don't have a lot in your garden to show besides Yuletide camellias and poinsettias.
Yuletide camellias. It is break time. Questions, comments, John at gardenamerica.com, Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in and watching us. Boy, how about that? Biz Talk Radio streaming, 855-424-9825. I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. We're about 30 minutes into hour number 2. We're going to take a break and come right back. Stay with us. And a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. We're right there with you here on Garden America.
Biz Talk News wants to feature your business as part of our Discovery feature, which highlights businesses that are not yet known nationally, but offer products or services that benefit Biz TV viewers. Available in over 40 markets on broadcast TV and online via biztvclub.com. Biz TV wants to help get the word out about your business. If you're interested in having your business featured on a future episode of Biz Talk Discovery, email us at discovery@biztv.com.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-557-6095 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-557-6095 for your free author submission kit. Again, call 800-557-6095.
You like business to this show, right? What if I can give you even more of what you like? Now, we've never met, but I'm willing to bet you are very busy. Between your work, family, and outside commitments, this little car ride is your time to catch up on your favorite show. But do you always get to tune in? Exactly. Well, now there's a business club with you in mind. BizVod is the place for business videos on demand. We've partnered with this show to provide you more of the content you like. The best part? It's all on demand. That means you can log in anytime from any device and watch shows that answer all of your business questions. For a limited time, you can try it for free for 30 days. Simply go to bizvod.com and enter promo code RADIO. That's bizvod.com, promo code RADIO.
As a small business owner, there's one word that you absolutely dread: payroll. For small businesses, it's a big burden. You may think you're saving time and money doing it yourself. Come on, are you? Timesheets, processing checks, calculating taxes, a total waste of your time. Paychex simplifies payroll processing, saving you time and money. Submit your payroll online, fax it in, or call your dedicated Paychex payroll specialist. And you're done. Learn more at trypaychex.com. Come on, do the math. The IRS dishes out 8 million penalties a year. Make one mistake, and you're on the hook. On average, you're losing nearly one business day every month doing payroll. That's time and money you'll never get back, unless you get Paychex. More than 500,000 small businesses already do. Call 877-649-5324. Trade payroll here for peace of mind. Call now. 877-649-5324. That's 877-649-5324.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-23.
Damage your fixtures? Or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions Purification Technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to greathealthywater.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to greathealthywater.com. That's greathealthywater.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is 35 minutes after the hour, back here on Garden America for your Saturday morning. Hope you're enjoying your time off. I know we get some time off here at iHeartRadio. We're back to work on Wednesday, so that is a rare occurrence. But again, we'll do it again next week as we get into New Year's Eve, and of course, 2019. Never thought I would say 2019 is here.
It's crazy, huh?
It is crazy.
It's just right here, and it's going to be happening in a week.
You can't stop it either, Tiger. It's just going to happen.
Well, I felt I was so prepared for this holiday season. Like I was like, got my Christmas shopping done ahead of time. I've been on top of things. I've been doing things with the kids that are holiday and
still not enough.
Well, and then all of a sudden it sneaks up on you like it's Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I even forgot that it's Christmas on Friday yesterday, heading into the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, that can wait till Christmas. No, Christmas is Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, Tiger, do you have any traditions that you've started with your new family or anything from when you were growing up as a kid that is something that you've done every year and you're going to continue on?
So with my family, my wife and our kids, we have two things, and I wouldn't say that they are good things.
No, this ought to be interesting.
It's more my wife. So this year at Thanksgiving, I was like, hey.
Your wife is watching. Talk to her in the camera.
This year, I put a note, a reminder on my phone. Take the holiday photo for the Christmas cards. Like Thanksgiving.
All right.
Take it then. Let's get them out. Uh-huh. She's a teacher, but yet she loves to procrastinate. So I had said, at Thanksgiving, I'm like, hey, let's do this. We took this picture. She didn't like the way it turned it out. So then I'm like, well, we got to get this thing done. I get busy with work. Everything kind of happens. We took our holiday picture like last week. We just got the cards. We're just now getting them out in the mail.
Wow.
People will be lucky if they get them by Christmas. Okay, so that's one. She loves to just stress me out and do the last minute. And then the next thing is take a picture with Santa Claus. And we go to the same Santa Claus every year with the kids. This time, though, I did set my reminder because she's always last minute. And you know what Santa's like at the last minute.
Tired. He's heard it all.
Exactly. So this year was nice. It was actually an enjoyable experience. We went out to dinner. We went and took pictures with Santa. The kids got a little treat. And it was a really nice thing. And that's two of our traditions. One is I'm still working on getting it to be less stressed. The other one went really well this year, and I was really happy with it. So,
and we started a new tradition this year where a pipe actually breaks and floods our living room. And we have to have construction done and move everything into the middle of the living room. We can't use our living room right now, and it won't be done until probably after the first of the year. And so that's fun. This is a new tradition that we're starting, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm sure.
A lot.
Well, that happened to us when we were in France at that hotel, and you liked it so much you started to make it part of your Christmas holiday.
That was in Nice. That was in southern France, right?
Right.
And was it your room? Whose room was it?
No, it was Hank and Kathy's room, I believe.
That's right. And they had a flood. I remember a bunch of several of the people that were on our tour were fixing it. They showed up with buckets and wrenches and pipes and
right. Hank and Bob
Bob
went through and
that's
fixed
right.
it.
Hank and Bob got busy and were.
And they said it was the highlight of their trip. They really enjoyed getting in there and fixing the plumbing.
Wow.
And it was, as I recall, a weekend, so they couldn't get a plumber.
That's right. There was a reason why the hotel couldn't get a plumber there.
Right. The Yellow Jackets were all busy. They went and helped.
Yeah. I still remember that view, though, the Mediterranean from our room.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Palm
Yeah.
trees. And that was a fun trip. That was a lot of fun.
One of our Christmas traditions that we still do, we've done it for 40 years now.
Wow.
And even though now the kids are all grown up, we'll do the same thing with the grandkids when they come over. We never told our kids about Santa Claus being real. I mean, we always had Santa Claus as, in the stories, Christmas stories and things like that.
Sure.
But they always knew it was just a story, so we
Right.
never tricked them into thinking that it was real.
Yeah, but they still think the tooth fairy is real.
Yeah, but that's different.
I know. Okay. That's good. I understand.
So because of that, what we would do, or what we still do, is every morning my wife has this breakfast cake that she makes. It's an old Italian recipe, and she makes it from scratch here. And it's a cake that you eat with tea in the morning. You dunk it in your tea or coffee, if you prefer. But we put a birthday candle on it, and we sing Happy Birthday. And then the kids, when they were little, would all together blow out the candle, and we would have that cake. And then after that, after singing Happy Birthday to Jesus, then we would go open presents. So I didn't intend this to happen this way, but because of that, the kids never woke us up in the morning to want to go get their presents or see what Santa had brought, because they didn't believe in Santa. So they were happy. They looked forward to the birthday cake and having the cake, and then they got to go open presents on top of it. It worked out real well.
I got a real funny story. My dad was really something. He's the kind of guy that I wish you could have met. So what he would do, he would wait till Christmas Eve. And this was back when San Diego was a little smaller, and most of the shopping was done downtown. Not a lot of malls.
Yeah.
So Christmas Eve, he would go there, and there'd be a big table of toys. Some were broken, some were chipped, whatever. And he'd say, how much for the toys? Well, which one? The whole table. The whole table? I don't know. And he'd give him a price. $50, it's yours.
This was always Christmas Eve, huh?
And because they wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But some of the toys were broken. There were little things
the
here.
package, whatever.
So he would buy all these toys. I would be long asleep. I remember there was this submarine, a very cool submarine, and the back of it had chipped off. It was broken, but not enough so you couldn't play with it.
Yeah.
So my mother will write this note from Santa Claus. Dear Bryan, I'm very sorry about what happened to the submarine and a few other toys. As I was flying over New Brunswick, I lost part of my bag. We had to fly down and pick it up, and I'm very sorry there wasn't time to fix it, but I hope you enjoy it. I bought that hook, line, and sinker.
Sure.
And, of course, the cookies were eaten and an empty milk.
Nice.
But my dad was I'll take the whole thing. So when I woke up, it was like Whoville.
Yeah.
There was stuff everywhere.
Stuff.
Trains going around and rocket ships going off and robots. And you'd think, wow, they spent a fortune. Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's nice, though.
Yeah, he was very
Magic.
cool. I'll never
Christmas
forget
magic.
that. Absolutely.
That's the way a used car salesman celebrates Christmas, right?
Exactly. That's right.
Was it just he had a dealership, right? Was it his own dealership?
He owned his own dealership.
And
Exactly.
And what was it?
Oh, he had. First of all, he was the first Honda dealer in the United States.
Oh, really?
Back in the early '60s,
Wow.
there was a handful of dealerships that were granted licenses to sell
Yeah.
Honda motorcycles. This is before they were here in the States. And I remember he was downtown, and these big crates would show up. And these mechanics didn't know how to put them together. They're actually, picture this, reading instructions on how to put together a motorcycle, Honda motorcycles.
And they were probably written in another language.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of that too. But his real love was cars. So, but he always sold cars. He always had his own dealership. And he was always very good to people that couldn't get credit or had bad credit. He would give them credit and he would help them along. And that's the one thing I remember, that he would always try to help people get him in a car. Now, his nickname became Sailor Man because back in the 40s and 50s, when the troops would come in or the boats would come in, the ships, and they'd be on leave for a while. And they said, hey, buy a car for Mr. Maine. We call him Sailor Man. And then when you leave, when you get redeployed, he'll buy it back from you. So that's what he would buy and sell cars for the sailors. He would sell it to them or lease it. And then when they left, he would buy it back. And that's why I got the nickname Sailor Man.
Yeah.
So that's, just actually, Ken Kramer about San Diego did a story on him.
Really?
And if you go to his website, about San Diego, you can find it. It's a whole half hour on my dad.
Wow.
Being one of the original San Diego people here.
Yeah.
That's my first radio gig was with Ken Kramer.
Was it really?
Yeah. We used to do a gardening show. You know, I have a rose in my yard. Obviously, I never met your parents because they had both passed away long before we met, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
But I have a miniature rose in my yard called Hijinks. And whenever I look at that, I think of
my
your
mom.
mother. Yeah.
Yeah, Jinx and Royal. How about that for a couple's name? Royal and Jinx.
You're lucky you ended up with Bryan.
Wow. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because
with a Y, though.
My dad said, how about Royal Jr.? My mother said, absolutely not. But it'll be Bryan with a Y.
Okay,
and
for the Royal.
To this day, people still BRI, you know.
Well, I mean, back then, people didn't have the interesting names when you got named Bryan with a Y. So that was really obscure.
Right. And if I was a girl, they were going to name me Roxanne.
Oh, gee, I'm thinking
you knew
of
that. I don't think I've ever asked my parents if I was a girl.
Thinking
what
of the
would my name
police.
be.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Roxanne.
So
that's a bad attempt at doing Sting. Go ahead.
That's true.
After you saying that, my mind just went completely blank.
I just got lost in the vocals.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and probably just in time. It is 45 minutes after the hour. One more segment. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being there. And we love our Facebook viewers. We love our radio listeners. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan Main, Biz Talk Radio. Coming right back. Stay with us.
Having bug problems this season? Need an overall solution? Try Natural Guard Spinosad Soap. This combination of spinosad and fatty acids kills aphids, mealybugs, worms, caterpillars, and other bugs that plague your garden. It's also safe to use around your fruit to make sure you enjoy your crop and not those pesky critters. Find Natural Guard Spinosad Soap in a ready-to-use bottle or ready to spray for those large garden plots at your favorite independent garden center. Go to fertilome.com for more information. Want a better-looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way. Intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great-looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego.
Used to have that problem. Did you quit using a computer or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks on Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
On Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you are having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks on Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis, 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks on Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. 1-800-591-1682. 1-800-591-1682.
Have you written a book and get it published? Then call Page Publishing at 800-557-6095 immediately. That's 800-557-6095. Page Publishing is looking for authors of all types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to them and view their feedback. If they like what they read, they'll get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. They handle everything: editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publicity, and distribution. So if you've written a novel, children's book, cookbook, inspirational work, poetry, or a biography and want to get it published, then you need to call Page Publishing and do it immediately. Call 800-557-6095 now for your free author submission kit. Again, for your free author submission kit, call 800-557-6095. That's 800-557-6095. Your road to fortune could very well start with this simple phone call. Call Page Publishing at 800-557-6095 for your free author submission kit.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful. Don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-285-4765 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-285-4765. Again, 800-285-4765.
You love your car, and so does CarChecks. We're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have been helping people avoid spending a fortune in costly car repair bills for almost 20 years. $2.50 a day. You get the peace of mind in knowing that your expensive repair bills may be covered by a vehicle protection plan. Think about if your air conditioner or the transmission goes out. That could cost you a few $1,000s. Or you can get protected with CarChecks and pay only a standard deductible. For about $2.50 a day, you can make sure you don't get stuck with the bill for covered repairs. Keep your car in tip-top shape. For a completely free quote, call CarChecks now at 800-958-5207. 800-958-5207. That's 800-958-5207. Or visit getprotected.com. That's getprotected.com.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-425. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is 51 minutes after the hour. Final segment on this Saturday, what we call, I don't know, Christmas weekend, if you want to call it that. Thank you so much. A lot of great comments, questions on Facebook Live. John at gardenamerica.com. Still time. Biz Talk Radio streaming, and of course, 855-424-9825. If you were not with us during hour number one, we had a special in-studio guest by the name of Hilary Kearney, who was a beekeeper here in San Diego, and a lot of talk about bees, and we learned a lot. And of course, all these videos that you see on Facebook Live, they're there. You can always go back. They're like archive shows and watch anything.
Yeah. I thought of another Christmas tradition that we've pretty much stopped now, but from the time I was a little boy, we did this every single year.
And you finally stopped.
We finally stopped, but only because I can't taste anymore. And there's a little bit more to that, so I'll tell you why. But we would have chestnuts every year.
Did you roast them on an open fire?
No, my grandfather used to take them in the basement, and they had a gas furnace. And when the furnace would come on, they could actually roast them in there to save money.
It was that warm in there, huh?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Furnace.
You get the...
Yeah. Oh, in there. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, in the furnace.
In the furnace.
And then they'd bring them up. And, from the time I was little, we'd always look forward to chestnuts every year. And I started them with my family. And the only bad part about that tradition is that everyone in my family hates chestnuts. But every year, they would eat one.
I like chestnuts.
They're awesome.
I can't remember the last time I had a chestnut.
So every year we would have them, and then as I got older, you'd have them with a glass of wine or something, and it was really kind of a cool tradition. But, now I can't taste them anyway, and since I can't taste them and no one likes them...
Why bother?
Yeah, why bother? I guess we could still do the wine.
Yeah, can you taste wine?
No. You mean, can I tell one wine from another anymore?
I mean, when you're drinking it,
it could be box wine or it could be $100 bottle of wine. It's the same to me.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
That's me with taste.
Box of wine.
Yeah. Either one. is the same to me.
Never been a real big wine drinker. Just never, I don't know.
Well, being Italian, I was brought up with wine.
It's
And
like
because
water.
of that, I never wanted to drink wine. We would, part of our Christmas tradition that we still celebrate every year is that my wife will make homemade ravioli.
Ooh, yum.
There you go.
Yeah. But there's a lot involved in, making the pasta and the dough and everything and the sauce and stuff. It's like a 2-day project and you need people to help you. But we do that every year, just once a year. That's the one thing that she still cooks. And growing up, even when I was little, I remember back as far as 8 years old, before we would have the ravioli with the sauce on them, my grandmother would serve them plain in a soup bowl, and they would pour wine over them. So you would eat the ravioli with the wine flavoring. And my parents and the grown-ups always drank the wine afterwards, and I liked the taste of the ravioli in the wine, but I didn't want the wine.
Right.
So I would never drink the wine. And every year growing up, or every day growing up, there was always a bottle of wine at the table during dinner, which I was welcome to have, but I never wanted.
How about that little reverse psychology? Go ahead and give it to him, and then because he thinks it's good for him and he's supposed to have it, I don't want it.
Well, as a kid too, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that tasted good.
No, I don't know. Not at all.
It didn't. So,
Yeah.
so when I became, a senior in high school, and all my friends are thinking it's cool to go out and drink wine and get drunk, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Do you
It's
remember
like dinner?
Yeah,
Do you remember cold duck?
I do.
Cold?
Yeah.
Cold?
It's called cold duck, and it was
Yeah,
was
it's
it
like
a wine?
champagne-y type.
Kind of a champagne-y wine thing, and it
was cheap.
inexpensive. I'm
Yeah.
about 12 years old. I don't know what time of year it was. Might have been Christmas. A lot of folks had a lot of people over, for the holidays, and they had these little styrofoam cups, and people were drinking cold duck. And so I had a cup next to me and wasn't paying attention, and someone was just refilling everyone's cups,
Yeah.
and they put some in mine. So I took a little sip, and I'm like, and I drank it and put it down, and they refilled it, and I drank it again, and pretty soon somebody said to my mom, "Hey, look at your son. I think he's drunk. I think he's lit." I had this kind of faraway look in my eyes.
Sure.
And I was about 12 years old, and I felt tingly, and my mother said, "Come on upstairs. I think it's time you went to bed." And but here's even a better story.
Slept a great.
I was just quickly
Yeah, go
looking
ahead, John.
at cold duck online, and it said it's a sparkling wine made from red wine and champagne mixed together.
Yes.
And you can buy it online for $6.99.
It used to be all over the place.
Yeah.
God, that is so funny.
That's back when Boone's Farm was popular.
So I remember these people arriving late to this gathering that my folks had, and my mother said, "Oh, would you like some cold duck?" And they said, "No, thanks. We just had dinner." I said, "No, not. It's cold duck. It's the."
I know, that's what I thought of
But
when
you
said it.
found it online, right?
$6.99.
Cold duck.
Yeah. I know, kids, as Art Linkletter used to say, kids say the darndest things. During the holidays when my wife was little, they were going to visit someone, and she was instructed before they got there, now you make sure that you thank them for anything that they give you. And I think they were there for like an hour and a half, my wife told me. They got ready to leave, and as they're leaving, my wife's parents say thank you to the couple that had hosted them. And my wife goes, "Yeah, thanks for nothing," because she didn't get anything. But she was supposed to say thank you for everything she got.
Thanks for
Not
nothing.
just thanks for nothing.
Oh, man.
Well-meaning,
Right.
Yeah.
but just a little misdirected. That's
Yeah.
all. Okay, we have just a few seconds here ticking away. We're not going to see or be with our listeners and viewers until next week, and that's going to be after Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, thank
We've
you
got
so
a lot
much.
of Christmas wishes on Facebook Live right now.
Yeah,
So
we do.
thank you all
for
very
that.
much.
And we're looking forward to an interesting and new 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd hate to end on a sour note, but just wanted to quickly mention that the famous rose breeder David Austin died this week.
At the age of?
92, and also Theodore Geisel's wife, Audrey
Right,
Geisel.
Dr. Seuss's wife. So there you go. Hey, have yourself a great Christmas. Thank you so much for supporting our show. We're back live next week, by the way. Where others take time off, no, not us. We're going to be here for the new year. I want to thank everybody at Biz Talk Radio, Brandon, Zach, Jeremiah, the rest of you that keep us on the air. I'm Bryan Main for Tiger Palafox. John Bagnasco for the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. And again, we'll be with you next weekend during the New Year's weekend. Take care and get growing America.
Listen on the go.